Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Super Post Show. It is your host Stephen Heyman. We are joined by I don't think you've ever seen this guy before, but this is my roommate. His name is Darren Aggie. Say what's up, Darren.
What's going on?
So obviously if you've seen the title, we are talking about Shang Chi. So we did see Shang Chi tonight, and it was crazy. And I mean, we're going to get into how we feel about it and stuff like that. But I know that on both sides of the coin for him and I, we are both ecstatic of what Shang-Chi was and what it is. So Darren, like, you can go as long as you want. Just tell me your initial reaction. We just left the theater. I mean, we just got home at like 12:15.
Yeah.
We got the theater around 11:30. So what is your initial reaction to Shang-Chi right now?
Hands down, probably the best Asian male lead film I've ever seen in my life. Hands down. Better than Jackie Chan movies. Rush Hour is pretty good. Nah, it's definitely tops it. This most definitely tops it. Because action was insane. Martial arts was insane. CGI went crazy. Absolutely insane. And they did a really good job of making it just not corny. You know, that's the biggest thing I was afraid of, is if the film was going to be corny, but that it was not corny. It was not corny. It was very
far
legit.
from that, bro.
Far from that. I also think that anybody in the Marvel universe can catch the hands from this man.
Here we go.
Anybody in the universe can catch a hands from this man. There's nobody taking it. Nobody's taking this man down. If he has a 10 rings on, that no one has it on him, bro. No one has it on him. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, the power level is different. I will say that, man. I thought his dad was a savage, but he's just a natural with it. I mean, the stuff he was doing was even better than his dad. Yeah, this has to be, if not so far, the best origin film we've seen. I get it. Iron Man was great, but the action, you see, Marvel has mastered the origin film formula.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be a boring origin story where we get no fighting. They found out who they are in the end. No, like, they know who they are, but they don't know who they are. Is that confusing? Like,
Very.
it's like this. It's like we didn't get a whack origin movie where the movie literally starts off with him as a kid learning kung fu, and then but the whole movie is that him not knowing how to fight, and then I don't know, and then he wins some like this wasn't like this is what Snake Eyes should have been. Like that's how I feel. Everything that Snake Eyes should have been, Shang-Chi was.
Bro, don't even get me started with Snake Eyes.
There's no way in Hello Kitty that Shang-Chi should be 10 times, 20 times better than Snake Eyes. Am I right?
One has Marvel in his corner.
But I'm saying, like, if you're thinking about the amount of cool in the character, you would go with Snake Eyes before Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Nobody really knew about Shang-Chi before this movie came out.
That's what I'm saying. Like everyone was expecting, like if you're just looking at covers with Henry Golding, you're expecting like freaking Snake Eyes to be like, okay, like, and plus in the G.I. Joes he was mad dope. You're expecting him to be like the coolest character ever. Yeah. But we got a origin film where he really didn't know how to fight, and even in the end battle he still didn't know how to really fight. Like he never mastered fighting. So the movie's pointless. And now he's not even going back to master fighting, he's going after Cobra or whatever his name is. Whatever. Is his name Cobra? That's not Cobra. What's
the Cobra's like the organization.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, his brother, Shadow Star.
Oh, yeah, White Shadow. Or right?
Shadow, is it Shadow Star?
Some Shadow.
Shadow, whatever.
I don't know. That's how forgettable the whole entire movie was. I can't even remember anybody's names.
Exactly. Like, Shang-Chi is number one. The embracing of the cultures it's like Kevin Feige takes everything he's done and just cultivates it into a different mood. So like, just like how Wakanda took like a type of African culture and it adapted it in a very organic way, but it wasn't like politicky at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better way to put it. Like, I could even say Shang-Chi is everything Mulan should have been, if we're being honest. I mean,
1,000%.
Like,
me and Josh were kind of talking in the theater. If you guys don't know, Josh is also Asian, Filipino, like and we come from like a Eastern Asian culture. So it was really, really cool to see like all the different types of Eastern Asian type of influences and the things like the landscape, colors, things of that nature. Like typically when you think of like just China and Chinese things, you're thinking of specifically the colors red, yellow, gold, stuff like that. But there's a lot of greens, jade, turquoise, different kinds of colors, different types of art styles, and stuff like that. It was really cool to watch. Like, and you don't have to be Chinese. You don't have to be an Chinese Asian to appreciate the movie, but you can be any form of East Asian and really appreciate this movie.
Exactly. Like it was just like, as I said, like, and one of the main things that I am not a big fan of is like you adapt uh when you adapt like a movie, right? And then it just becomes all about trying to push like a one-sided like narrative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's embracing culture, but it's also sticking to the story. And shout out to and this is for my co-host Matt, and this guy always says to me that Disney's a part of the narrative, Marvel's a part of the narrative. No, they're not, bro. This is a prime example of no narrative BS. Like, this is legit just a great movie with good plot, good villain.
Oh, villain was crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about spoilers on here or no?
Oh, before I get into it, guys, the spoiler alert. If you have not seen this or you don't want to hear any spoilers, go away now.
Word. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Because I want to touch on that.
Let me edit that in my title. Spoiler.
Definitely wanted to touch on
So let's all right. So before we do that, let's just touch on the main characters, right? Which characters to you stood out? Yeah, let's just start with there.
I think Aquafina kind of stood out to me. Typically her performance are really corny, really cheesy. A lot of forced comedy, and sometimes she kind of carries the comedy on her back sometimes, where it's like it's just Aquafina being funny and everybody else is just kind of serious, which is what I was really afraid what her character was going to be. But it didn't come off that way. I think she played her character very, very well. As sort of like this best friend type of thing. I'm kind of glad they didn't get together at the end, where it's just like they're just friends and they really were just friends, which is really cool to see. Definitely a trope that was necessary to avoid. The next main character I definitely want to touch on, of course, was Shang Chi. Beautiful performance, as somebody who is
by the way, Aquafina's character her name is Katie.
Yes.
I have all the names right here. All right, keep going.
Gotcha. Shang-Chi's character acted very, very well. Very, very relatable for somebody who was Asian like I am. And Aquafina too. Aquafina was incredibly...
Simu Liu did a terrific job.
Amazing job. Workout routine is A1. That man's workout routine goes crazy. Let me tell
you. Give him a chef's kiss, bro. This was amazing.
Beautiful.
All right, keep going.
Absolutely beautiful. I've never seen him as like a martial artist, so it was really, really cool to see him pull off all these different stunts and things of that nature, where he's doing all these kicks and going crazy. Like that scene in the bus, took off the jacket, put it back. That was insane.
Bro, that's the thing too. Like crazy. They got right to it. It was it was a little BS. It was a little like good. Like we got a little good action, and we got a little good like them like laying out the landscape for us, but they got right to the action, bro.
Yeah. The only thing that I think was a little bit lacking was Shang-Chi's sister. I feel like she was in the wrong movie.
But don't you think her fall back was for a reason, because they're prepping her to be the next big villain?
Yeah, that's why I think she's in the wrong movie. I feel like there are a lot of story beats that would have benefited for her having her own film.
They could have put Aquafina more in the place of his sister, and she could have taken that spotlight, or maybe even bringing his mom back, maybe, and then saving his sister to be like the big bad for the next movie. Like she could have been in the end crazy, but to me, it doesn't really make a difference. It's whatever. Yeah. I liked having her there personally.
I mean, she was cool. I'm never one to appreciate when somebody takes over somebody else's origin story, though.
You think
Like
that she did that?
a couple times during the film, yeah, for sure. The one thing that I will always have a gripe with with Marvel in the cinematic universe is
Oh
that
God.
sometimes they sacrifice universe building over character building. Um, so I get it. You're trying to make the Ten Rings like a big thing, and you want them to return, and you want her to be like the big bad now, and that's what you're trying to build up. But like, this is about Shang Chi. We came here to watch Shang Chi. You know, like a good example is Iron Man, right? The origin story for Iron Man. Like we didn't really go into what was the doctor's name that was with him in the cave?
Uh, I can't remember, but he died. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we didn't really go that much into his backstory or Pepper either. Like we didn't really go into Pepper's backstory,
But
what her
but
motivations
did we
are, or try
need
to
that?
build her up into something else. You know what I mean?
But when we got her iron suit, her Ironheart suit, it was all worth it in the end, and no
Oh
one cared
yeah.
about her past. I mean, like but like like I get what you're saying, but I like how Marvel doesn't waste time with characters that like I don't think they needed to personally build that in this movie, and or I'm glad that they went both ways with her. Like I'm glad she was with him during the battle. The turn in the end felt weird to me though, because it was
Mm-hmm.
like we got this emotional ending with her and her brother. Now out of nowhere, she's back to being a bad guy.
Exactly.
Like, what wasn't the whole reason of you rebelling against your father was the fact that he didn't let you into the empire? So now you're going to just like isn't there a point where you make the Mandarin Ten Rings crap for good now? But now
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere it becomes bad again.
Yeah.
So was everything that she did, was it a lie? Like did she mean it or did she do it just to get the kingdom?
That's another thing too, is they didn't really
It's very confusing.
clearly clarify if she's back to being bad.
Yeah. Nor
You
have
know?
we gotten a sign that she was like, because like in the end she looked mad cynical.
Mm-hmm.
So like, was this all like a ploy to just get her dad to be killed?
Mm-hmm. Like you
Like
don't fight with that much conviction, bro. Like it's like if that's what your goal is, like you don't fight with that much
it
conviction.
was mad emotion into her fighting. Like
Yeah.
her brother saying, "I'm not gonna do it without you. I'm not gonna lose you again." Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like she saved his life.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it just I'm so confused with that. Like how do
Yeah.
we go from her, excuse me, literally like saving the day? I mean, one of the main pieces to save the day, to now she's just back to being a low life criminal.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think she's low life. She's still the Ten
not
Rings.
low life,
Like
but
she still
but
has all the connections
yeah,
within the
but
Ten
just being a
Rings.
crime lord, like it's just and like I get it, like and maybe the road is like she was like obviously Shang is more of like the heart of his mom, and she's more of a
Mm-hmm.
hustler like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get it, but it's like to me just it felt like a little bit of bad character development that if someone wasn't paying, but like my thing is like I feel like we pay more attention than a regular person, so I think that to someone not paying attention that would be like whoa, like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The thing though is that I mean it does the thing that I'm not convinced about is that it's not entirely
By the way,
clarified
bro.
if she's
By the
bad.
way, while you're talking, I'm just fixing my wire, so my camera
Yeah.
might go out. But you're good. You can keep talking. I hear you.
Yeah. Um but yeah, the thing that I wasn't necessarily convinced about was just if she's back to being bad completely. Just because with her going back to the Ten Rings, like Shang-Chi did say in the end that, oh yeah, she's just trying to unwrite all the stuff that our dad did with the Ten Rings and stuff like that. So maybe they're using the Ten Rings as something different. Not really. I don't think it necessarily needs to be a rebrand in order for them to go into a different direction. So they probably could still be using the Ten Rings moniker, Ten Ring symbol to try to do something better and undo a lot of the stuff that the original Ten Rings did. So I have to see exactly what they do with the Ten Rings first before I can believe that she's going to be the next big bad, because there's nothing really explicitly that she says or does that solidifies that she's going to be the next big bad. Because all she says is we have a lot of work to do.
For her to be a big bad, Aquafina gotta die. Katie's gonna have
Yeah,
to die.
probably.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna fall in love eventually. Let's be honest here. There's obviously gonna be a love arc going.
I hope not. I hope not. You know, And this is no knock on Aquafina. You know, I think she's great. I think she's a great actress, but never really seen her in a film as like the main female interest. Um, so I don't know how well she's gonna go with
All
that.
right, so Shang-Chi's girlfriend in the comics, I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
Liko
there's not a
Wu.
lot of huh?
Liko Wu.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like Katie at all.
No, but I mean, it could be another character that he might find interesting, but then Katie gets jealous.
Yeah.
That's what I can
I
see.
think the thing that's really cool with Shang-Chi is very similar to Iron Man. Well, not necessarily, but because they're uh before this film, there's a lot of obscurity behind Shang-Chi. Like nobody really knows who he is, you know. Um, but because nobody really knows who he is, they can kind of mold him into whatever they want him to be, you know. So who knows if they want him to fall in love with Katie, then fine, that could happen. But I think it's really cool how they can just manipulate a whole lot of things in his character and his design and his methodology and stuff like that. Because from what I read in the comics about Shang-Chi and my short little research before the movie, it's a pretty different guy from what's in the movie,
Oh no,
which
no,
I appreciate.
they went a whole different route, but this is why I say Kevin Feige is the GOAT because he knows how to take out the meat and throw away the bone. The old comic wouldn't have worked. It would have been another regular whack kung fu movie.
Yeah.
He had to end it with the 10 rings. He had to. His power, like the MCU is too powerful at this point, and this is why I think like the Falcon Captain America like movie is going to be just blah because the power level for the MCU right now is just too high. It is. The characters are too powerful.
I know, but I mean, if you think, all right, I don't want to go too deep into the Captain America stuff because that's not what we're here for. But with Falcon and him taking the Captain America role, Captain America was more so about his leadership power, not so much about
Oh
his
yeah,
physical power. So,
I get that. I get
and
that.
Sam was a great leader. I'm just saying.
Okay, I get that. But right now, where the MCU is with the cosmic stuff, it's all about power level. Right now, and that's why the Falcon movie. I mean, that's why the Captain America Falcon movie isn't happening until years from now. Because right now, this is the time of power, bro. Like we're getting like Shang-Chi, the 10 rings is up there with vibranium at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might be vibranium. Actually, no, they would have known.
Yeah, they said that it wasn't vibrating.
There's no tracking in the universe of this stuff, which means that this had to come from those dragon god people that were in the freaking movie. Okay, but and I do think it was made, and I think in the next movie we're going to see how the rings were created. I think that's what it's setting up. I can really see the setting up how the rings were created, how the dragons breathe into it, or some crap. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
But
do you think there's some connection between the dragons and the rings, or no?
yes, because his dad's colors were blue and Shang's colors were gold. I think the darker color resides. If you were, I think the color when you wear the rings, I think it shows the motivation behind it.
Yeah.
That's why I think Shang's was gold and his dad's was like a dark, like purplish blue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I definitely, I definitely think that for I'm not sure if his sister's going to be a big bad, but from that clip, bro, it kind of seems like it. But I would love to see another character, like to see him go up against sister. It's just too predictable.
Yeah. I don't know. What I've noticed with the Marvel universe is that the way they take their characters, like the direction they take them, is always around a certain subject, right? So, for example, Tony's was all about control, like what can he or cannot control, right, and how he reacts to what he can and cannot control. With Captain America, it was always about how do I say this, like honor or something like that, where it was like he had to fight in an honorable way, or what is most honorable to him, or what is like the right thing to do, or like what he defines as like the right thing to do, right? And that always changes throughout whatever he experiences. Like for example, like Cap's definition of right and wrong from the start of his journey to the end of it is the same, but the way he goes about it are two completely different things. Like for example, like in Captain America 2, he fights everybody in the elevator, but in Endgame, he just says Hail Hydra, right? So I think with Shang-Chi, the general theme that Marvel's probably going to surround him with is family, because that seems to be, some Don Toretto stuff, that seems to be the kind of thing that they're going with. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is the sister that becomes the big bad, just because they seem to be going in the family direction.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest with you, bro. I think I could see Feige's future plans for Shang-Chi being him featuring in a lot of movies
Mm-hmm.
more than solos. But if this movie blows up, and I think it will after seeing it, my mom, oh my god, mom, what are you doing here? Jesus Christ. Sorry. But sorry, my mother's here. But
You're
bro,
good.
I do, I do think that if this movie blows up, like we're talking about, like if this movie goes crazy, bro,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change a lot.
I want to see him in a lot of different films too, because I think he's a very versatile character.
Yeah, I think that's where he'll have a big impact. Kind of like, you know how like Black the Widow was like shopping films, but basically, you know what I mean. I could see something like that. But we're gonna need that Shang Chi too,
For sure.
and I bet you his sister is getting a Disney Plus spinoff show, which I will be down to see.
Oh, like a
Because
10 Rings type thing.
what if we got a
Okay.
spinoff show to see how she built it? That would be dope.
I'm definitely down with that. I
That would
would
be awesome.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of his sister. Again, I just kind of think she's a little bit of a forgettable character. I think they tried to dig way too deep, but not enough time.
I don't know, dude. I think that she's a really great actress, and I think I have someone that of that caliber. She's
Yeah,
probably gonna get on a show.
1000%. I
Probably
just
gonna
don't
get on a
think she was
show.
given a lot to work with. You know, she's a great when she's there, she's good. But she wasn't given a
Yeah,
lot
she
to
was
work with.
basically like the muscle, like you know what I mean. Like,
Kind of.
like when you needed somebody to do something combat wise, she showed up.
Mhm.
You know.
I see her simply as a plot device for Shang-Chi to realize like the totality of his family. Because I feel like if he was just mad at his dad, that's a very one-directional way to look at things. But because he has something that he did wrong in the situation as well, it gives a more three-dimensional perspective on everything that kind of happened. So I think that's what more she was more of like a plot device than anything.
Yeah,
But
and that's my fear for the second one is like if she is the main villain, is it going to be like that? You know, like there has to she like or I mean the only way I think this movie like the second one will be like insanely as good as the first one, which a lot of second movies aren't. Like I'm scared for Wakanda Forever, bro. Like I'll be honest, I'm scared for
I
that
am
movie.
too.
I legit don't know what to expect because like Black Panther was such a I don't even think great is even the word like stellar movie.
Hmm.
I don't. They're not. It's not going to be as good as that. Like, but
I
anyway,
don't
yeah,
think so either. But
yeah. But anyways, but like, I think for the second movie, what would be dope is for her to find a weapon as strong as the Ten Rings. I don't know what that weapon is, but or what if she tricked the spirits or whatever to make her one?
I think you can make a weapon that's even to it, but to get a weapon that's more powerful than the Ten Rings and give it to his sister, I think that's a serious disservice to what Marvel can do with Shang-Chi. Just because I think, to be honest with you, as much as I love Shang-Chi, as long as I'm now a ride or die for this character, without those 10 rings, he's not a lot. You know, like
But
he lost to his sister in hand-to-hand combat.
well, he let her win.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, and even then, like, I wasn't necessarily convinced that, hey, this man can take on anybody and he can't combat. I wasn't necessarily convinced, you know.
And I think they did a bad job with that. By the way, just saying.
Yeah,
He's supposed to be the best. I mean, regardless the way he showed his fighting, I still think he has the best combat in the MCU personally. And now with the 10 rings, he's just OP. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you take the 10 rings away from him, he doesn't even really
like
belong in
he
the
might
MCU.
he might even give Captain Marvel the work. Like keep it a buck. I don't know.
Oh, 1000%. Yo, those rings
Like,
were crazy, bro.
So she'll probably win it in because she has just like and her power level is just godly, otherworldly, other universally. But Shang-Chi would give her the work.
Yeah, bro. Shang-Chi most definitely will. And again, I would not want them to bring in a weapon that's more powerful. Than
Well, maybe not more
rings.
powerful, but I can see them bringing in a weapon it's a somewhat equal. What if it's the throwing knife thing that she has, but it's like the same power level as the Terminator? I see something like that happening, which would be dope in my opinion. But yeah, or she could just use those red things. Like, what if all of her henchmen get those red weapons from their home from Tylo?
I think you can put a different spin on it. With the position that her sister is in, I would really like for them to take and hear me out with this. I'd really like for them to take her into more of a political angle where her power is not in her physical ability, but in her influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the way she's going to beat Shang-Chi. Like, hey, you can beat me up as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, you're not walking out if you're mentally healthy. Like, you know how Mysterio, like, kind of got the big old gotcha on Spider-Man because he revealed his identity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, she would have the same type of influence, if that makes sense.
I can see that. I think that would be probably way better, actually, now that you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I definitely agree. Like, there's so many ideas to go with this ending. But let's get back to the characters. All right, so Leoku Wu. That obviously that's his mother.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see her spirit give the Mandarin the work.
Yeah.
Do you think we could see her again? I think we will see her again.
Shang-Chi's mom?
I think I think he will be able to. I think with those rings he will be able to communicate to the dead somehow.
I mean, my theory is that the 10 rings are like some sort of celestial thing. So, I think that would not be I don't think that'd be a great idea. I think she could return in this whole multiverse thing that's going on. Maybe Shang-Chi is involved in this whole multiverse of madness thing because he did meet Wong in those end credit scene. So maybe he's part of the movie too, and we just don't know about it yet, and just been keeping it a secret that he's been cast for it already. Maybe he's a part of it. He sees his mom, whatever that the whole deal mess with. That's the only way that I would want her to come back. I'm a big believer that if they're dead, stay dead.
And while we're talking about Wong, he obviously got a freaking raise or a freaking upgrade because apparently he guards his own sanctum. Just saying. So he's obviously that dude now.
I really want to find out how this man knows the Abomination. That's such an odd pairing.
It was like a training thing. That's pretty weird, dude.
Why would he be training the Abomination though? Like,
he might have him under a spell.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
So I mean, obviously, there wasn't really much. Obviously, that she's a freaking airbender, which is pretty cool to see. By the way, off topic, but I can't wait to see this Avatar show. I'm excited to see that. I feel bad for the poor kid though. They got to shave himself bald. That sucks, dude. He's gonna get made fun of in school so bad. All right, Michelle Yeoh from freaking Crazy Rich Asians, beautiful woman. She did great. She doesn't look better than my fiance. Got to put that out there. Right? Yeah, the auntie did great.
She was great.
Obviously we got Tim Roth as Abomination. Blase. Let's get to the Mandarin. Let's get to the Mandarin, man. How did you feel about the Mandarin?
I'm not saying power level wise, but he's like Thanos level villain.
His intro was crazy. I'm not gonna say Thanos level villain, but his intro was crazy. That man came in on some random freaking horse and just started dutching on everybody.
Yeah,
bro. Like that John was crazy, bro.
Okay. Whoever was in charge of how the 10 rings worked and how they could be moved and manipulated, and whoever choreographed that whole thing with anything that happens with the 10 rings, give that man a raise or woman. Or
whoever came up with that concept of not making the 10 ring, and what a smart idea, because the main problem people would have said was, oh, it looks just like that Vanity Stone. Should have just had the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
those rings were crazy. And the way he was using them was insane too. He was turning him into whips. He was turning him into force fields. He was using them as like shocker type blaster things.
Bullet blockers.
Yeah,
and they were shooting.
Bro. It was incredibly creative. I think also with the character, the Mandarin and stuff like that, I definitely did want to mention, like, man had me tearing up like 2-3 times throughout the movie. That was his performance,
because you understood his pain. He wasn't just like some random douchey like
Yeah.
villain. Like he is, and that's why like I get when you say Thanos, because even with Thanos, as bad as he seemed, there was a true purpose to why he was doing it. Because he was like, "This happened on my world. I don't want this to happen on any other world." Good intentions, idiotic way of doing it.
Yeah.
And with this guy, I mean, he was very power hungry, but I mean, obviously, the death of his wife just turned him cold.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very. It wasn't like the easiest way to do it because for some odd reason they made his pain justifiable. It's crazy how Kevin Feige does this. It's crazy. But I mean, the acting. I mean, the first scene to me was cheesy when they were walking in the alley after, and I was like, this might be a little cringe. Like, you gotta be honest, that first scene was kind of cringe.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Asian films, so I'm used to it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of like Chinese kung fu, Japanese type.
But like after that fight scene, it switched. Like that fight scene changed the whole tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the intro had us locked in.
Yeah.
And then out of like be honest, bro. Did you think they were going to get to that first fight scene that fast on the bus?
No,
like,
bro.
It was so
I thought it was gonna be
fast.
like a middle movie thing.
The second thing on the bus, I'm like, oh, we're not getting this fight scene now. It has to be like maybe after their work shift. But
And by the way, I just to mention, I'm so glad they made this a theater exclusive, because watching that fight, because they released that fight scene on YouTube as like a teaser type thing, right?
Not the whole thing, but
not the whole thing. A good portion of it, right? But let me tell you, watching that fight scene in the theater is a completely different experience. Than just watching it on your phone or something like that.
A lot of YouTubers are mad about that too. Like a lot of YouTubers will want to stream it really because they want to make money, because they can make money off streams. But I advise everyone to see movies. Don't get it illegally. Watching the movies, it's a heck of an experience. This is probably the best experience I've had since COVID.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow was not that good. I'm being honest here.
It was all right. It was okay.
Didn't need it. But like just the connectivity was just trash. This movie, 10 times better, maybe 20 times better.
Oh yeah, this is a Marvel movie.
Marvel's back.
When you think of a Marvel movie, this is what you think of when you see it.
Yeah, and coming off of the Loki hype, it's perfect. Like obviously we're getting the what if, which is that Doctor Strange episode was crazy, by the way. You guys see that, Darren? But
I have watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
I have watched it. I watched it as of yesterday.
How do you feel? Did you watch all the episodes?
Yes, I've watched every single episode so far.
How you feel about that?
I think it's great. I think it was not very Disney-like, in my opinion. It was definitely pushing the edge there.
The fact that Awkwafina said vagina I was shocked. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I will have to say though, the one thing that is really.
Are you talking about the what if for Shang-Chi?
I'm talking about Shang-Chi right now.
All right.
But the thing that I find is really funny, because you mentioned earlier that this is not this movie is not very Disney, and I actually got a small chuckle out of it, even though it's supposed to be like an emotional scene. But the Disney stereotype where the parent always has to die type thing, and we have to always watch, and the main character always has to watch their parent die. I thought that was pretty funny.
It legit. Every time I see a parent, I'm like, well, he's dying. Tony Stark died. Tony watched his dad die again. He saw his parents die. Like, oh my god, it's cringe.
I
T'Challa's dad died in a freaking bomb.
Yeah. Who else was there? There's a lot of like people watching their parents die. It's kind of not
Thor.
Fun.
Odin died. Thor. His mom also died.
Yeah.
Jesus, but bro, it's like, the tone of the movie, like, it's just perfect. When you don't think Marvel can get any better, but let's be honest here, we were all expecting it to be like an Ant-Man type movie. Yeah.
And that's what I was prepared for.
I'm not throwing shots at Ant-Man because Ant-Man's good, but you're expecting it to be good, not great. Yeah. This is a great movie.
It's phenomenal.
Top tier. Black Panther top tier.
Yeah. It's got to be up there.
And to be honest, it might be better than Black Panther.
I want to go that far.
The
Because
only
Black Panther started like an entire movement.
Yeah.
We got people saying Wakanda forever, like
yeah,
on
but
the streets.
but I'm not talking about as hype. I'm talking about the pay. Like this movie has way better pacing than the Black Panther film.
I would have to watch Black Panther again to really judge that, but
then again, like
I
I'm very opinionated because with a movie like Shang-Chi, there has to be constant action, or the
Yeah.
movie's going to suck. So I mean, I don't know. And
Mhm.
maybe Black Panther is better because they don't have to do all the action, and you're still like just entrenched in the world of Wakanda itself. That's insane.
Mhm.
But like, and I guess that is the gift in the curse of Shang-Chi is like, if you did a movie without a lot of action for it, it would have been trash.
Mhm.
It would have kind of been like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I'm not trashing the show, but there was not a lot of action, and the viewership went down a lot because of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I mean, the one thing that I will say is that I think the character development was better in Black Panther than it was in Shang-Chi.
yeah, for sure.
That's because Chadwick Boseman, freaking Chadwick Boseman, man.
Yeah, but
R.I.P.
Chadwick he's like on a Denzel type of act.
That's what I'm
was
saying.
Yeah,
I'm not throwing that expectation on anybody because like
no.
that's insane.
Very few people can do that. I mean, the only other
1000%.
person that probably did was Chris Evans and RDJ, and Chris Hemsworth, and they're all in that tier.
I wouldn't even put Chris Hemsworth there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he plays one character every movie.
Yeah,
He just got funnier, legit.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
but Chris Evans and RDJ, they're in that caliber too.
1000%.
Scarlett had her chance with Black Widow, and it showed us that she's not. Sorry, Scarlett. Stop trying to sue freaking Disney, you idiot. But yeah. There's this YouTuber. His name is Meets Kevin, and he has a cup that says "Don't sue me, bro." Disney has to buy like 20,000 of those. But anyways, look, so like, I just really think that the pacing of this movie is great. Like, it's probably one of the best pacing of movies I've seen in a long time. Like,
yeah,
the dynamic between Katie and Shang-Chi was perfect. Like, this might be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And you know the weirdos are going to be making the weirdest fan arts of them having sex and stuff. You know how it goes.
Some stupid stuff.
But the fans are going to love Katie and Shang-Chi.
Yeah, no.
Because like they reach to our age groups. They're like little like hipsters, bro.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, he's actually like 20. 24. He's 24. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's not that older than us. And the way that their style is, the way they move is so like our age group. So like, I'm happy that they're it seems like they're getting away from the millennial aspect and they're shooting for the Gen Zers, us.
Which is good. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
no. Yeah. I did also want to credit the writing for Katie's character, just because of course the Asian stereotype is that everybody's smart and all the Asians know what they're doing and stuff. They're all going to be doctors and whatnot. And I've seen a lot of films try to take on breaking down that stereotype, but I have never seen a film do it better than Shang-Chi. Like a lot of times it feels corny, it feels forced. It's just like, why are you talking about this when there's an entire other plot to go after? But it felt necessary here. Like it felt like at home for sure. You and Josh saying I legit
get told this stuff from my parents. Like you guys, it was relatable.
Yeah. That family scene where they're inside of the house and stuff like that, and they're all making remarks and stuff like that. And Katie, like I felt that. I was like, that's real. That's what happens to me all the time, you know. So that was very welcome. That was very welcome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's just like they could have crafted it better.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, everything they needed to hit on, they hit on. And this movie's gonna go. This movie's gonna do numbers. It's not gonna do Spider-Man numbers just because it doesn't have the
it is. I'm pretty sure it's projected to do 90 million this weekend.
It's good. I want to see a Shang-Chi 2 like expeditiously. You know, I want to see him in Multiverse of Madness. I want to see him in Spider-Man. I want to see him in everything. Shang-Chi is one of those characters where I feel like he can fit anywhere. You know. Like he can fit anywhere and he can take care of a lot of your problems just because of those 10 rings, you know? And I like the way they set up the 10 rings too. Where it's like, oh yeah, it's like, it's a weapon from something we don't know of. Like we had to explore this, or it could be connecting to some other thing. So it makes him really flexible to fall into any character's path just to explore what the 10 rings are from and what they're doing, what their origin is and stuff like that.
the good thing about Shang-Chi, and this is why a lot of characters like T'Challa, it's hard for them to it was hard for them to feature in other films, even Captain Marvel, because
Mhm.
they're so tied to their story. Like their story is so important that they can't leave, because if they do, it messes up everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like if after Black Panther, what movie came out of the Black? It was Avengers, but
Yes.
let's say right, let's just say theoretically, if after Black Panther he appeared in Spider-Man, it wouldn't make sense. Like
Mhm.
if he appeared in Spider-Man Far From Home, it would make no sense. Like
Yeah.
we'd be like, what the hell? Okay, is he doing there?
Mhm.
With Shang-Chi, he's not tied to just his universe. Like him going with Wong felt so natural. Like
Yeah.
even with me, like to me, even with Steve going to Wakanda at first felt kind of weird. I'm like,
Mhm.
shouldn't you want to find Tony on Titan? Like, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
was kind of that kind of thing. But
Mhm.
with a Shang-Chi type of character, it's easy for him to go to a bunch of different different universes and scenarios. Like even with Spider-Man, it's hard for Spider-Man to, and it shouldn't be, because Spider-Man features in like every superhero freaking comic ever.
Mhm.
But even with like Tom Holland, it's hard for him to go to other continuities and feature.
Yeah.
But somebody like Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi, they can be anywhere they want.
Mhm. Yeah.
Someone like Scarlet Witch, she could be anywhere she wants.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what I'm more excited for. I would love like for him to kick Falcon's butt. I would love to see him fight against Bucky, bro. Oh my god. What if Bucky, like what if the Winter Soldier ring came back on and he fights Shang-Chi? Oh my god, bro. That
Bro.
would be insane, bro.
I don't know, Chief. I don't know.
Without the rings. That would be equal.
Versus Bucky, who's a super soldier.
Mm-hmm. He's bro.
Alright.
Bro. His fighting style, bro.
I mean,
And now
technically,
he can
Shang-Chi
air,
does have that kind of, yeah,
bro.
that
But
airbending stuff. Yeah,
he has
he can do
powers
that.
without
That's true.
without the rings.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just gonna ank him, bro. He's gonna go into the Avatar state.
Yeah, airbend, waterbend, everything, bro.
I
That
mean, the
man.
water brought him up. He might be able to bend all elements. I don't know, but like, bro, like the possibilities with a character like this is never. It's unending.
Endless. Yeah, yeah, and it's really refreshing to see. I think
And
Marvel
yeah,
has
sorry.
like left a lot of things open ended currently, and it has all of us like going crazy. Like, oh, what they get it next? What they get it next? What they get it next? So I did want to ask, like, what do you think is your what's your possible theory about how Shang-Chi goes after this?
All right. Okay. Let me say the one thing.
Oh,
They all. I have the one last thing, and then I'll get into your question.
mhm.
They did such a good casting that when they have to recast, it isn't going to hurt it. I
Okay.
don't think Shang-Chi is tied to this actor.
Well, it's also only been one movie.
But like when I saw Chadwick Boseman, I was like, you can't. Like, there's no one that can do this.
True.
When I saw Steve Rogers, Downey, Hemsworth, there's no one that can do this. Ant-Man to me is replaceable. You can find another funny actor and just throw him in there, and it could work.
Now, I'm only saying this, and it's really sad to have this. I have this thinking, but just because I don't think there's another Asian actor that could really like take it on.
No, but I'm saying like in the
So,
future. Like I'm saying like
I know.
20 years from now, he's old. He can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Like the passing down to the actor is not going to be as hurtful as like iron, like because they're going to recast eventually. It's going to be hard to get used to that.
I guess, yeah.
It's just like how like and did you hear about the Fresh Prince recast, bro? Who wanted that? But anyways, all right, we're not getting to that right. But so what was your question?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, what are your theories about where this thing is going next? More specifically on stuff like where the 10 rings are from, what the heck is he gonna start doing with Wong, all that jazz.
As we said it at the end of movies, I think this is a cosmic weapon, or the dragons, the godly beings.
Mhm.
They might not be alien like; they might be actual spirits. I think they created the 10 rings.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's an open ended question if he's going to be doing something with Wong or not. Because if they found something, like if they found a place to figure out where they were created, I think there would have been a way for them to, figure it out. But I'm not sure if Wong knew about the dragons. I'm not sure if they know about that. Because if they don't know about the rings, then they might not know about these extraterrestrial beings. Because if
Mhm.
we're being honest, if these demon things got out, don't you think Doctor Strange and them would have popped up the same way in Endgame? Just saying, if it was that bad, you know what I mean? Like, because that's kind of what they are. They're like universal protectors
It's
of.
true. Yeah.
They protect the reality of Earth.
Mhm.
So if there was a thing like that happened, they would have popped out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that kind of leads me to think that these beings made those the dragon made the rings.
Okay.
And I think for the future with Wong and Doctor Strange, I mean, obviously they put Wong in there because he's Asian. Let's just be honest. But I do think there is something to explore with that. I wouldn't mind having Wong tag along Shang-Chi for a movie. I wouldn't.
That karaoke scene already proves they have chemistry.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So how do you feel?
Um, I think the dragons and those beings are two different things. Reason being is because I didn't see the dragon interact with the rings in any way specifically, right? Like whenever Shang-Chi was with the dragon, he was kind of just riding it and that was it, right? He was kind of like his means of transportation to keep it close to the whatever Cthulhu looking being that was. But he didn't directly imbue it with power or do anything of that nature, right? The only connection that I can really see is that when he was using uh when he was using the magic of the Tao Lo, that's when the rings became like orange, and then that's when Wong said, hey, we got this signal, like we felt that you put on the rings, only when it was him, not his dad, right? So his dad had it for like thousands of years, 1,000 years, right? But only when he put it on with the magic of the Tao Lo that it, something happened. So
And
that's the
that's my
only,
question.
yeah, that's the only way that I can see that it's something.
What if the
Um,
being that created the dragons created the 10 rings? What if the
yeah,
10 rings were made to keep these beings in check, and they were entrusted to one of the I don't know,
yeah,
but what if one of these, like, there has to be a reason for this a thing this powerful to be made, and
mhm,
if Doctor Strange can find, it has to be something from his universe, Shang-Chi's universe,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like,
Um,
and what if, like, and the fact that Tao Lo blood is the reason why it glows like that.
mhm.
That's what makes me think, okay, maybe these rings were made to defend these type of godly insane situations from happening,
Yeah.
but ended up falling into his father.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Uh, because another thing is that the thing that makes me confused, that if it is with the Tao Lo, then I'm very confused in how his father got to them. You know, because from what I could gather and what was told in the origin story, like a little monologue that was in the beginning of the film, he said that it was either one, he found it, or he commandeered it from somebody else. But the problem with him commandeering it from the Tao Lo is that he didn't know about the Tao Lo until much later on in his life,
When he had the rings,
when he
and
already had the
and
rings.
and if the rings meant something to the Tao Lo, his future wife would have been tripping if she saw him with it on. So
1,000%.
that contradicts what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't know.
That's again, that's the only way I can see it be connected with the dragons and the Tao Lo and stuff like that. I personally believe it's celestial weapon, something along the lines of the power of like the Silver Surfboard. You know what I mean?
It seems so Eternalsy to me, and I hate to say that, but
But the thing is, it can't be Eternals. It
no,
might be.
I mean like power level.
Oh yeah,
All right, I'm looking at the history of the 10 rings.
I thought you were
Did
saying like
it,
the beasts were like deviants or something, which is, it can't be possible, because if they were deviants, then the Celestials would have came in and did something
yeah,
about it.
or the Eternals? You mean?
Oh, the Eternals. Sorry, yeah, the
Yeah. All right.
Eternals.
So history. This says. Oh, let me pull the screen up on my. Give me a moment. I'm about to share this so we can both see it. Where's it at? Tab. Give me a moment. You see it?
Yeah.
All right. It says discovered by the Mandarin in China's Valley Spheres, the 10 rings power are actually the product of the dragon-like race Axon Car. Type that in, Darren. What? Axon Car, AXON-KAR, or Mukalans from the planet Muklu 5. The Accent car utilized them mainly as the power source for the interstellar craft's engines. The ring functions currently cannot be explained by modern Earth science. The Mandarin learned to utilize the rings for own personal use and make them respond to his personal commands. Over the years, the Mandarin's mind has actually come to inhabit the rings, so now no one else can take blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
What is the accent car?
So it says that it's an alien race. Axon Car was a member of a race of space dragons known as the Mukulans.
So there we go. They're space dragons.
Makula? I don't know how to say that word. His space vessel crash landed on Earth in mainland China many years ago. Emerging from the craft, Axon Car was perceived as a monster by the locals who attacked him, doling out a mortal injury. Okay. Discovered Axon Car, and through their exchange, learned of powerful 10 crystals that used in the Star Train drive of his ship. Oh, okay. So I can see how they can adapt this. I can see how they can adapt this type of.
So these are
background.
aliens.
Likely, but some seriously powerful aliens. It's also like we all know Captain Marvel has been to a lot of different alien planets, helping out different alien planets and stuff like that.
And maybe that's why she was in the conversation in the end.
Yes, but she also stated in that conversation it's nothing that she's seen either, right? So it has to be some sort of secret type of aliens that are on some serious crazy power level stuff.
What if during the Eternals, the dragons also entered the Earth with them? But also, this place that they're at, it's not in like they're in a pocket of space. Like they're not actually on Earth.
Yes. That is what they say. They said in your universe. So when his aunt was referring to Earth, he was talking about your universe, meaning
so time might not mean anything there. Like they might age to a certain age, and that's it, bro.
That's also probably how the Mandarin can keep his age even after.
I thought it was from the rings. Old. I thought no, they said it was from the rings.
Yeah, but if the rings are from the same place, they wouldn't. When they have the same type of, right,
for sure. Which means that, and who knows, bro? The Tai Lo chick, his mom might be older than we think. She could be thousands of years old too.
Yeah, maybe.
So their blood, I mean, they're gonna live long, both of them.
Yeah. That's true. I don't necessarily know. I really hope it's something celestial because then we can get Silver Surfer and then we can get Fantastic Four and all that jazz. But I can definitely see it being something like alien-like. Just because, like, again, in the legend of the Mandarin, he said he got the 10 rings from like a crater or something like that. And in the story, in the origin thing that I was reading earlier, it said it came from an alien who looks like a dragon. Who crash landed on Earth, and then the Mandarin discovered him, and he saw like these things from his ship that was actually like 10 really powerful crystals that powered.
So his dad might have found the crystals from the dragon.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what the second movie is going to be about, the origin of the 10 rings, which I think would be a way better. And I could see him and his sister fighting for something with that. Like they're trying to go after something that they have.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting that I did see about the 10 rings in the original comics is that the 10 rings always had some semblance of the Mandarin within them. So even if somebody were to be using the 10 rings separately from the Mandarin would always find his way to like manifest and like kind of like talk to them, whoever the wielder is or something like that. So I can definitely see a thing where while Shang-Chi is using the 10 rings, he gets some semblance of his father that puts him out on some sort of goose chase to chase after him. You know,
I can see that too.
Yeah, and then you can get into the origin of the 10 rings and
he could even it could even be him going crazy like his dad did, and then his sister and Katie, aka Aquafina's character, going to the source who created the 10 rings to help him. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Bro, Marvel, do you hear what we're saying? Hire us right now. I will quit my job right now for you. I swear. I don't want to work anymore. Hire us, please.
Yeah, bro. I'm done with working that movie.
Oh my god, these theories, bro. We're coming up with crazy theories right now.
Yeah, this is pretty insane stuff.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I think that second movie. I mean, maybe that might be a better final movie for the series, but I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think that second movie could be about like the origin of the Ten Rings and where they come from, and these dragons being actually aliens. I mean, and
Yeah.
what if they are well, as you said, they were Celestials, the Eternals when it came, but the fact that the reason why we figured out the reason why there's no documentation of these weapons because this weapon has to come from the Tylo, because they're not in the pocket of Earth. They're
Maybe.
somewhere.
Or they could just be a place that Captain Marvel hasn't been to yet.
Or this might be like the center of the Earth bull crap, you know.
I'm not with that. I don't think Marvel's going to pull any of that stuff.
What if it's in the quantum realm? Oh my god.
No, that doesn't make any sense because quantum realm stuff is always like time stuff.
True. But they are outside of time, technically.
There's no way that Talo is.
But they enter it through a portal.
Yeah.
With the trees closed. This is weird, dude.
Water junk, dude. Some mystical water dish.
So freaking confusing.
Yeah, no. But I'm so excited to see where they take him. I'm so excited to see what direction they take him in the future, what Marvel characters do they pair him up with, and what their dynamic is, and things of that nature. I can see him being like I can see him being like a Black Panther-esque person where he's like he's kind of compatible with everybody, but he's there really just to like settles things. You know, he's not there to like argue or whatever.
They could have made Shang-Chi like Black Panther if they had a stronger supporting cast. But if they put a lot of notable Asian characters, it would have been cheesy.
That's true.
Like, so I see why they didn't do it. Like, because bro, if we're being real, all they did was Henry Golding, Gemma Chan, you know, but Gemma Chan's an Eternal, and Henry Golding might have been casted as Namor. So who knows? Like, you know, I mean, but I'm glad like the actors that they had are good and they did their part, and it was a good movie, and nothing was forced or rushed or like stuff that we didn't need. So I'm happy, and I'll be there tomorrow to watch it. Heck yeah, dude. Are you taking Jonna to go see it?
Yes, I will. I don't really know yet. She said she's gonna watch it with her friends first and then watch it with me. So
bet. So well, all right, guys. Thank you all for watching, listening. Please like and subscribe below. If you want more content, as I said, like and subscribe. Darren's gonna be showing up here a little bit more. So we're happy that you guys joined. We hope that you guys loved it. Have a wonderful night. Peace. I know it's late. I got work in the morning. Deuces.
Peace.